So, you've made it into town. Now, depending upon how you approach and what you do, you may get more or less of the basic quests that you've seen me do to get into town and do those. They may have to go talk to the Chancellor and whatever, but basically, once you're done with all the quests that you get pinged in the city, talk to the guy at the entry, talk to the guy for the mushrooms, make sure that you've logged into the tavern, you've talked to O'Malley, you have checked out the storage and the auction house or the trade house. Those are the primaries. All the other stuff in here, feel free to do as you wish. At this point is when I totally deviate from how most players will do it. I like to ensure that my character is totally self-sufficient. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, when you're gathering and so on, there's no way you're going to get around it. You're going to have the occasional rectum holes. They're going to kite stuff into you to disrupt your gathering. They're going to wait for you to kill something, and then while you're healing, they're going to run up and skin it or gather it underneath you. Especially like in my case, I have a high latency. I've killed stuff, and by the time it dropped, I went to skin it, and the other person that was standing there watching, boom, you see their character jump like rubber band, boom, and they're already skinning it. You're not going to get away from the trolls and the ass wipes. It's just any MMO is going to have them. In this game, though, you can open your chat window and click an individual and report them. Okay, see here? And from what I've been able to tell, they do take some action on it. Originally in the game, it was full of bots. You could literally see them named Bot 1, Bot 2, Bot 3, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and they're all running the same. I have not seen a lot of that since I've come back, which is a relief. That tells me that they're doing something about the bots. However, since there are no merchants to sell anything, the trade center, auction house, is the main area for building wealth and selling, buying, and trading. You can trade between characters. However, be very careful. There are some out there, like anything else, they'll rip you off. Well, how do I do this? Well, first you have to take off your helmet. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now what do I do? Watch. Boom, 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 and all your stuff's picked up and they run away. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, if anybody will meet me at the gate here, I'll give them, if they give me 1,000, I'll give them 2,000. I just want to make sure that you're not just a crybaby. If you don't PvP, you get the consistent, oh, Care Bear, no PvP. However, you can set an option to refuse duels. If you go into raids, if you go into land conquest battles and so on, it is PvP. So, you know, maybe not raids, but conquest, fort battles, and stuff like that. So just be aware, no matter what you do, you're not gonna get away from the occasional puckered hemorrhoid. It's part of the thing. However, from what I've seen is, since the last time I was here, they have done some to squelch some of that. So the next thing we need to look at is we need to gear ourselves up. And by gear ourselves up, I'm talking about here. The first things we're going to be doing is skinning and harvesting, along with collecting our weapons. You'll notice this says Tanner skinning a plus 4.6 experience while skinning. We need to find one that does the same. There are some that will have a chance to drop Azoth. Azoth, yes, is very important later in the game. However, it does you no good if you kill something and then you can't skin it, or you get to a special tree or whatever and you cannot harvest it because you're not a high enough level. Everything on this is tiered by level. Even your character here, you have to complete a quest line to acquire that. You have to be level 20 just to put on a ring, and level 40 to put on an earring. So be aware of this. You can just run in and do all the quests and level up like any other MMO. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. You can get your basic stuff, join a guild, and then start doing PvP and stuff again, if that's what you want to do. I play more of a survival type format. I do quests. I do get with groups occasionally and do stuff. I do have friends online. But my primary thing that I start when I start a new character is I want to get all of my stats up to date. That means I will go back to the starter area, kill until I've collected all of the weapons. Okay. I still need a rapier, I need a flail, I need a great axe, I need a musket, blunderbuss, I need a fire staff, I need an ice gauntlet. All of these are drops. Okay? You can get them by completing quests. It's just up to how you want to do it. Mainly for me, I'm going to go back, I'm going to work the starter area. And this area right up and in here. Up to that point there. I'm going to work this area right through here. Because that's going to be within my level range. And it's going to give me the highest percentage of drops. And allow me to level because there's a lot to kill. And allow me to pick up my weapons. And allow me to salvage and so on to build up repair parts and everything else. All right here in this one area. I may spend about 40 game hours in this area alone. Just building my stats and everything before I move on. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find us a sickle. So we're going to go to tools. I want items I can use. I want gathering tools. Sickle. What I am looking for is a sickle that will, I've currently got 131 gold. I need one that gives me a 14% while harvesting. That's a 13%, and that's all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this one. That's going to increase my harvesting speed. So now I'm getting a harvesting speed. I'm getting extra experience. And I'm getting an extra yield. The extra yield will equate also later into other stuff. So those are currently, since there's nothing that gives me more experience, I want more for the time that I'm spending doing this. Okay? And now we're going to go back to the starter area. And begin my gameplay. If you if you wish, I'm going to be videoing this and putting it in just as numerical. It'll just be like, I think we finished with 08, so 009 gameplay. Gameplay 1, gameplay 2, gameplay 3. And we're just going to go through it, and I'm going to go from now until the point to where I've done everything up to about level 65. And you're more than welcome to follow along. Consider it that you're watching a live stream without having to deal with all the trolls. And I'm going to be throwing tips and tricks and different things into it that will allow us to move along faster. Like tanning. Skinning, I mean. Skinning, I'm going to go to a totally different area for skinning once I reach to about a level 12. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and just all I can say is watch the videos. If you like, be sure to be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I do not throw up a bunch. I do not have X. I don't have Meta. I don't use Twitter or any of that stuff. I just do my YouTube channels, and I let it spread by word of mouth. And basically, you know, if you enjoy it, tell others, invite others, show others, because otherwise you're doing yourself a disservice as well as me. All right? And let's get moving in on this and start doing something with this character now instead of being drug around like a cow with a ring in its nose doing these quest lines.